Welcome to the Viking Age, man. Schad here, along with Adam Patrick. I write for Zone Coverage and Bring Me the News. Adam's the managing editor of the Viking Age. We do this every Monday and Thursday right here on the Viking Age YouTube channel. But if you miss us, you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify the very next day. But however you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, share, so you never miss a new episode. You know, I felt like coming into the show with a whole bunch of energy today, but life's just been kind of a drag, and I felt like sitting in darkness for 4 days
Okay.
and
That's going
just cleansing my mind.
Okay.
Just whatever. So how you doing, Adam? You want to go on a darkness retreat? And
no, I was wondering what you were doing, and then I picked
it's
up.
Not okay. So this kind of botched it. It's not as dark as I was hoping.
Right.
I think if I had used like one of the other rooms in my house that's got like the bigger blinds, I would have been able to make it darker in here.
Mhm.
So don't worry, I'll turn on the light while Adam's talking at some point. But actually, I could probably just get away with this. There we go.
Yeah, that's fun.
yeah.
Like, I wonder. I think I saw a tweet or something like, I wonder why the Packers aren't consulting their starting quarterback about decisions for the future when he's got to go on a 4-day darkness retreat in a house where they have slots for food or whatever. And then he said he's going to be able to figure out what he's going to do in the future. He's got to go think it out, I guess.
I think somebody called it like a Joker origin story, but really this is like Scarecrow origin. Like when you think about, like, I'm not a big comic book guy, but like I remember Batman Begins, and like the Scarecrow is like the main villain. Like you just put a burlap bag over his head, and like honestly, he's gonna like get out of that place and just be like, "Where is the Batman? I need to be to Gotham." And the Packers are like, "Okay, what do you want to give us, Jets? What do you want to give us?" Like people always talk to me about how, my Packer fan friends will just be like, they're going to get so much for Rodgers, and they're going to, get all this stuff because he's such a good quarterback and whatever. People watched the Denver Broncos trade all those firsts, all those players for Russell Wilson, basically the Rudy Gobert deal of the NFL. And like, they didn't know Russ had the baggage that he had before he got traded. Like, he just got dragged through the mud, rightfully so, this year. Aaron Rodgers, we know he's a psychopath. And I mean, he's on Twitter and he's just like, "Hey man, don't be judgmental or whatever. Like, get bleep, dude. Like, seriously." Like, he's sitting there and he's just like, "We gotta bring back all like my friends that are like 30. Like David Bakhtiari's got like 2 bad knees, bro, but he's gonna be totally fine. Like he's just gonna cleanse his thoughts and be back." It's like, go to a shack with Ricky Williams, smoke all the weed you want, and get the hell out of my sight, because he's going to play. He's going to come back. He's going to make the money. They might trade him to the Jets, whatever. I'll laugh. And you know what? It absolutely terrifies me because Jordan Love's overall PFF grade was higher than Kirk Cousins last year. So, I don't know. I hope the Packers just bring him back. Like, seriously, like if they brought him back, I would be so happy, because I don't know. Give me another year of that crap, because
Ricky Williams, ahead of his time. Back
really, yes,
apparently. And oddly enough, he graduated high school like 2 blocks away from where I live.
Ricky Williams?
Yep.
Interesting.
Right down the road. Yeah, like I don't envy the Packers position right now. I feel like it's worse. It's even worse than Brett Favre back in the day, like, because at least he was just like, "I'm gonna retire," and then he got bored, and then he came back and didn't play for the Packers again.
Like Brett Favre just went and chilled on his ranch, just like, well, what should I do?
Yeah, he wasn't like, I need I need to cleanse, and then I need to, hang upside down for 15 hours underwater to like figure out, exactly what I need to do. Did you see, I think it was Mitchell Schwartz who commented on it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And then he commented
like,
don't be judgmental. And like, why not?
How much do you
That's what
think
Twitter is.
Tyler Fornes brought this up on the Homer Horn, which will drop on Friday morning. But he's like, how much do you think the guy who runs those things like makes for that? Have you seen like what he'll be staying in? Like the picture of it?
Is it a shack? Like a rundown house?
It's like a concrete teepee, basically. And then they have this little thing.
He said
Maybe
it
he
was a
thinks
house.
yeah, what's that?
He said it was a house.
Well, I don't know. I mean, somebody looked it up on Twitter and posted the picture, and it looks like an iron teepee, basically. I don't know if like they think he thinks he's like Jesus and like will just like rise to the heavens and like they'll open the thing like Aaron isn't there anymore.
Oh, he's going
Aaron,
higher than that. That's where he thinks
yeah.
he's going.
He says he's going to cleanse his thoughts and whatever. You know what he's actually doing? He's just going to get high as you know what for like 4 or 5 days and then just like trip out like the walls are melting or whatever. Like he'll think he's in there like winning the Super Bowl or some shit. And
yeah, that's what I don't like. He's acting like he's doing some profound thing where it's like, dude, you're just going to like take some drugs and feel good. Like, don't act
and
like it's nothing else.
And I like McAfee's reaction, which is just like, yeah, bro. Yeah, go do it. Yeah. Like total like Aaron Rodgers could say, like, I'm gonna go and like fight a live bear on national television. And when I'm done, I will tell the
I'd watch
world
that.
whether or not and like but I would want Pat McAfee to comment on that.
Yeah.
Just like him screaming, like, oh my God, that bear literally ripped Aaron Rodgers' face off. And
Yeah.
like you know,
it would
Mortal
be
Kombat
revenge
style
for
or whatever.
him saying he owns the Bears last year, and he was like, "I own you."
I own the Bears, so I will go fight a live bear on pay-per-view.
Do it. I'll watch.
Anyway,
Off the rails
I would
already.
pay to see Aaron Rodgers get mauled by a live bear as well. There is some Vikings news, unlike some of the other off-season shows that we've had. And it includes Brian Flores as their new defensive coordinator. This was a trip, man. This whole defensive coordinator search because they interviewed a whole bunch of people. We thought Sean Payton was holding Ejiro Evero hostage at one point. That was not the case because they let him out of his contract, and then it seemed like he was going to be here. Then he took the Panthers job. Then it didn't look like we were going to get Flores. We were going to get Mike Pettin, and then all of a sudden, boom, they hired Mike Flores. Let's just start here. Do you think Brian Flores is a good fit to turn around the Vikings defense? By the way, I'm going to open these blinds because this is kind of like weird. So you go ahead and I'll jump right back in.
Yeah, I think it's a good hire. I think it's going to be pretty much night and day between him and Ed Donatel. If Brian Flores' defense is going to be bad, he's at least going to make life probably as difficult as he can for the opposing offense, especially the opposing quarterback. His defensive style is just way different than what we saw from the Vikings last year, as far as blitzing goes, you know, moving guys all around, disguising coverages and things like that. I think it's gonna be like a fresh start or whatever for this defense. I think Kevin O'Connell was kind of hoping last year that Ed Donatel would kind of just run things on the defensive side of the ball and he wouldn't have to worry about it that much. And then he quickly realized, like, shoot, like this isn't the guy to like run the defense. And so Brian Flores, they have a previous relationship, him and O'Connell, from being Flores was on the staff of the Patriots when O'Connell was on the roster for them when he was a quarterback. So they have that relationship. And Flores, he's excelled. He's taken a defense. He took the Dolphins defense in 2019. I think they finished 32nd in scoring, and then the next year they finished around 6th in 2020. So he's taken a defense and fully turned it around. And his defense, like there aren't a whole lot in the league, but like his defense, like his defenses and his defensive style, it's fun to watch because you just don't really know what to expect. They give up some yards. They're not a perfect. It's not a perfect defensive scheme, but it's aggressive. You know, kind of live and die by the knife philosophy, where like we're gonna come after you, and you got to figure out a way to beat us So I like the hiring. I'm excited to see what happens. And people are worried about him leaving in a year. If that happens, that means he probably did well. So this is going to be a thing, just like Mike Zimmer had to hire offensive coordinators every other year. This is going to be a thing where, if the Vikings are good on defense, they're probably going to need a new defensive coordinator every other year. It looks like Chris is frozen. Oh, there we go. There we go. He's back.
Yeah,
you
it's
were
going in
zoning
and
out.
out right now.
You were zoning out like Rodgers. There we go. But yeah, I like the hiring. I like it. It's way more exciting than if they went with Mike Pettin, which I think was looking like a last resort. So I'm glad that they. It seems like they after Avero went to the Panthers, they're like, okay, we got to stop messing around. We got to get somebody that we want. We don't want to be left, with table scraps. And I think they got a guy that they're happy with, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do.
Eagles Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Are you excited at all for this?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. It's the two number one seeds in each conference. Patrick Mahomes against Jalen Hurts. Andy Reid Bowl, Kelsey Bowl. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good game. I think the Eagles. Do I think the Eagles are gonna win? I don't know. I don't want the Eagles to win, but I think they're like Patrick Mahomes keeps saying his ankle's fine, but like, how fine is it? And like the Eagles are gonna make him find out. And do the Chiefs have enough defensive? Do they have enough talent in the secondary to cover AJ Brown and Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert? So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it'll come down probably to the wire. But I'm gonna pick. No, let's go Chiefs. We'll go Chiefs because they got the experience. A lot of the Eagles, the ragging on the Eagles has been they haven't really played anybody this year, and when they have, they haven't done too well. So let's see how they do against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. So I'll go with the Chiefs. I think they'll come out on top in this one.
I have had to remind myself that the Super Bowl is on Sunday like twice this week. I was, and maybe it's because I have to.
Well, it's always on Sunday.
Just
this Sunday, you would rather remind yourself.
Right. Well, no, I mean, I had to remind myself twice this week that it's this Sunday because, I mean, I don't know. I was just, I don't know why I'm just not feeling this like, hey, like big games on Sunday, like not doing anything. I have to go into work and put together the paper, which we might get done early in the afternoon so I can just watch the game. But it's like, I have nothing. I mean, I'm going to make some chicken wings. Yeah. Exciting, right? I'm also kind of like, like these two teams. I don't know why, but I'm just not. I'm not into either team. Like I don't care who wins. Not to sound like Christian McCaffrey, who the 49ers are continuing to cry over. Well, our quarterback got hurt. We were going to beat him by 40 points. And we had offensive genius. And if Kyle Shanahan was so good, he would have figured something out. So get bent. You know. I mean, that's football. It is what it is. Philadelphia, Nick Sirianni, like I would love to see somebody just punch that guy in the face. He's so perfect for Philadelphia. It's unbelievable. Like him doing whatever in front of the camera or, dude, Frank Reich's my guy. Like, the greatest coach ever. And like, can't figure out how to use a passing game or find a quarterback or anything like that.
Get mad at his daughter
with that, Carolina. Yeah, he got mad at his daughter.
Well, like his little daughter, because she was like copying him. He brought his kids to the podium or whatever. I think after they won the NFC championship, and his daughter was like mimicking him, like his like mannerisms or whatever, and like because he probably like does speeches in the house or whatever, and he was just like, stop doing that. I'm like, chill out, dude. Like she's your She's like 5. She's having fun. If you don't want to do that, don't bring her to the podium. Yeah. So he fits in. He fits in well in Philly. I think they embrace him. He's easy
I'm
to
probably minority.
what? He's easy to dislike, I feel like.
No, well, yeah, and I mean, I was going to like start talking about the Chiefs too. Like, I don't like Travis Kelce.
No?
I don't. I don't know. I don't know. It might have something to do with fantasy football because we play in our league with wide receivers and tight ends, and like Kelce wasn't having a good start to the season one year, and I just straight up dropped him, and then the most vociferous kind of bully type of owner in our league decided to get him. And I don't know. It just like his whole speech against the mayor is like, no, you're wrong. Shut your mouth.
I thought you would like that,
bro. I don't know. It just seemed cheesy to me. Like I love The Rock and everything else, but I'm just like, really, dude, really? But
yeah, well, I mean,
maybe it depends on who. Like Justin Jefferson said, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. But
I think when you're a good team like the Chiefs, and before that the Patriots or whatever, like it's easy to dislike them just because like they're so good. So eventually they become like the team. You just get tired of them because you're like you want someone else to be in the spotlight. You look at teams
it's
like
fatigue.
Yeah, like Duke or the Yankees or stuff like that. Like you need someone else in the spotlight. Because the Chiefs have been they've been the AFC Championship the last 5 years. So like they're good. So like if people don't want them to be in there, then you got to beat them. But yeah, I can understand that because I think a lot of people wanted the Bengals to win for that reason, just because they wanted someone different in the Super Bowl, even though the Bengals were in the Super Bowl last year. So they're just as good. But also Travis Kelce is just really good. So I'm at the point now in my life like where it's hard. Like even with Aaron Rodgers, like he's still really good. Like as much as I dislike him as like off the field on the person or whatever, like he's a damn good football player. So is Travis Kelce. He's arguably the best tight end in NFL history, which is crazy because I think he was a quarterback at Cincinnati, and then they just moved him to tight end. And I think he wasn't even that good like his first couple of years with the Chiefs. Then Mahomes got there and just kind of went off from there. But yeah, and even he's like their only weapon though too. Really, like Mahomes can get the ball to other guys, but everyone knows the ball is going to Kelce, and he still finds a way to get the ball. And I think that's credit to Mahomes, credit to Kelce, and definitely credit to Andy Reid. But I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think Andy Reid's going to want to kind of put it to his old team that fired him. He's probably still got a little chip on his shoulder to get back at them. He'd like to do that. He'd like to win another Super Bowl and do it over his old team. I'm sure he's got some feelings about that. And yeah, Super Bowl week is it's a lot. Like media day and everything. Like there's just so many people, so many different people. I think I heard an interview with Seth Rollins yesterday from Radio Row, and I'm like, I like this, but why are you there? Like, what? Like people, it's no longer like strictly a football thing. It's a way for people to like promote their upcoming event, promote their product. Like, it's a lot. And is it even Radio Row now anymore, or is it Podcast Row? Because who listens to talk radio anymore?
The Super Bowl live event on Monday was like, that was just maybe that's it too. Maybe I'm old and like I'm just kind of like, but like the NFL's like, how else can we make money? Oh, let's turn media day into this live event. Like
and people go there to watch. Like fans in the stands. What are you watching?
Well, I'd feel bad for like the actual media members, like having to go and like try and get interviews and whatever. And it's like, no, we're going to have so-and-so on the stage. That I didn't even watch it. So I don't like, I guess Sirianni had like a like little scrum afterwards or whatever. And somebody's like, is this a must-win game? And he's like, yeah.
Oh, I know who did that. It's Damashek. It's Dave Damashek. He does that every year. He goes every year he does that, and people still like get pissed. They're like, some guy said as this must win. He does it every year. He does it every year. It's hilarious. Because I knew
I didn't know it was a
yeah,
bit.
I knew
So
exactly who did it as soon as people were like, somebody has a must-win game. I'm like, that's Damashek. He does that every year because it's hilarious. Because obviously it's a must-win game. So because he's playing off of like the fact that people ask that question in the middle of the season, and he's like, just like, oh, this would be funny if I just asked the Super Bowl, because they'll be like, yeah, obviously. So yeah, that's Dave Damashek, formerly of NFL Network. I think he's with like Cousin Sal and stuff now. They have their own podcast thing going on, but that's what he does every year. So I knew exactly who did that. And there's always people that like dress up like Big Bird or something, and like have to do like these stunts on media day, and it's like, what? Oh, why do we need this? What?
yeah.
I get it's a cool opportunity. Like if you're a young journalist or whatever, and you get to go to the Super Bowl, I think it's cool. I don't know if maybe if the Vikings were in it, I would be interested. I don't even know if I would. That's just a lot of people, and I don't really like being around that many people.
Well, and paying, how much for a ticket.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
yeah.
And it's not just that; it's everything surrounding the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's now when it was in Minneapolis and I knew people in the cities, like I was gonna go up there and just kind of take it all in, but it's kind of like
in Arizona this time of year,
I don't know, man.
Very nice.
Yes,
we're gonna give our picks.
Nice.
You got your pick.
I'm gonna take the
picks?
Chiefs. I guess the Chiefs. I don't know. I am so tuned out. I don't like. I'm just kind of nah. All right. Yeah, you two have fun, and then we'll just see what happens with the Vikings.
They don't.
That's
remember they used to have. Remember they used to have like the NXT halftime thing. They should bring that back.
Yeah, halftime heat.
Yeah, that was fun. They should bring that back
for sure.
But I'll go with the Chiefs. Yeah, I'll go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't. There we go. So we're both going with the Chiefs. I don't know. Rihanna does nothing for me either as far as a halftime guest.
You never know. She might have some special guests.
Yeah, you never know. It's whatever. I don't know. I'm just not excited for it, I guess. I don't know what my deal is, but I'm wearing baseball stuff on a Vikings podcast.
You ready for the offseason?
Twins are projected to win 80 games. It's going to be a great year. So on that note, that's all the time we have for today. We do this every Monday and Thursday right here on the Viking Age YouTube channel, but you can listen on Spotify, Google Play the very next day. Don't subscribe and share so you never miss a new episode. I am Chris Schad. We'll see you next time on the Viking Age podcast.